One of the biggest divisions between Xbox One and PS4 owners are controllers. I've lost count how many times I've received comments saying PS4 is better because of the Dualshock 4 or Xbox One is better because of the Xbox One controller. Well, why not just use whatever controller you want on whatever console you own? Well, thanks to the Brook Super Converter, now you can. A big thanks to Focus Attack for sending me out their Xbox One to PS4 and PS3/PS4 to Xbox One converters for review. Now what these flash drive size converters do is convert the signals from your Xbox One or PS4 controller and replicate the signal of the official console. So now you can play Uncharted 4 with your Xbox One controller or play Halo 5 with your Dualshock 4. Pretty weird, but cool at the same time. Using and setting up these converters are extremely simple. Just turn on the console you want to play on, may it be your Xbox One or your PS4, then just get the appropriate converter for what controller and console combination you want to use. Then just plug in the converter into the console, and you should see the green light on the converter turn on, and your DualShock 4 should turn on as well. That's all it really takes. Your PS4 controller should be synced up with your Xbox One, and everything should be mapped equivalently to an Xbox One controller. For example, the square button is now mapped to X, X is now mapped to A, circle is mapped to B, and triangle is mapped to Y. Pretty much the exact equivalent to an Xbox One controller. Once your DualShock 4 is synced up to your Xbox One, you can disconnect the controller from the converter, and as long as the converter is still connected to the Xbox One, your DualShock 4 should work just fine wirelessly with the console. The converters even come with instructions so you can turn on turbo mode on certain buttons or remap certain buttons to your liking straight from the controller itself. Now to use the Xbox One controller on a PS4, the process is pretty much the same thing. Turn on the PS4, connect the controller to the converter, and plug in the converter into the PS4. You should see the light on the converter turn on, and the Xbox logo on the Xbox One controller should turn on as well. From there, everything on the controller should be mapped as if it was a DualShock 4. Right bumper over to R1, left bumper to L1, left trigger to L2, and right trigger to R2. Now sadly, because this is an original Xbox One controller, the wireless protocol that the original Xbox One controller uses isn't Bluetooth like the DualShock 4, so you'll need to keep this specific controller wired in for it to work. Response time for both controllers and both converters are pretty instantaneous. Playing shooters like Halo 5 or fighting games like Street Fighter 5, I really didn't notice latency between the two controllers and using an official controller with said console. Now occasionally when Microsoft and Sony updates their system, they'll stop these converters from working. Brook is usually pretty quick to release a software update to fix this anytime it happens. For example, my PS4 to Xbox One converter didn't work outside of the box because of a new Xbox One system update. All I had to do was plug in the controller with the converter to my computer, go onto Brook's website and download the latest converter update and then run the program. I had to follow some instructions like press certain buttons when prompted to, and that's pretty much it. The converter was updated and working flawlessly. I think these are nifty and useful devices for a lot of people. A lot of people switch to the PS4 from either an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One because of Street Fighter 5, Call of Duty, and Destiny priority on the system. If you much rather use an Xbox One controller, this is a great way to enjoy PS4's priority content while still using a controller that you like. Fighting game players can also use these converters with their fight sticks on a brand new system, so that instead of buying a brand new stick for a new system, they just have to spend $30 to $40 for a converter instead. Lastly, there's use for people like me that have both consoles but only have one controller for each console. Getting this converter is cheaper than buying a brand new controller entirely, and suddenly I have two usable controllers for either my Xbox One or my PS4. So I definitely recommend picking up these converters if you fit any of the criteria I mentioned before. I'll have links to these converters specifically and all the other converters available in the description below underneath the like button. And that does it for my review of the Brook Super Converter. Thank you all very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by hitting that like button. And if you made it to the very end of the video, let me know what games you're hyped for in 2017. That way I know you made it to the very end of the video. I'm super hyped for Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Prologue and the English version of Persona 5. While you wait for my next video, you can check some of my recent stuff. I put up a review of The Last Guardian on PS4 and a review of Final Fantasy 15. You can also click on my face to subscribe, click on the Twitter icon to follow me on Twitter for cool behind the scenes stuff on my channel, and scan the Snapchat code to follow me on Snapchat. Thank you all very much for watching, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.